Time for Meals with Monsignor, and let's see where he is taking us today.
He's leading us in discernment.
Absolutely.
Of food.
Well, good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good morning to you. We're doing great, and I know today we're doing a restaurant review, and I just want people to know sometimes you're doing your favorite recipes, sometimes you're doing a restaurant review, always including the importance from a religious perspective of the importance of meals.
That's right, and we have a wonderful example of that today. In the gospel readings, Jesus has breakfast with his disciples in the 21st chapter of St. John. And around that meal, Jesus calls forth over the food, a profession of faith of St. Peter, and a commissioning of good works in ministry to St. Peter. After breakfast, that he asks him if he loves him 3 times. And 3 times he gives them the commission to feed my lambs, tend my sheep, and feed my lambs. So the call to faith that we learn about over breakfast this morning in the Gospel of St. John isn't just a call to personal relationship with Jesus Christ, but once that faith is established, it is extended in ministry to care for Christ's people. So the connection over food to faith to ministerial action in our lives is the core of the gospel message this morning in the Mass. So we have to find some nice place to go eat. So so we can do this with one another around the table and make our table the Lord's table too. So we're going to travel just a half a mile outside of Ohio today into Michigan, just the extension of Detroit at North Detroit Avenue, and we're going to go to a very interesting restaurant called the Northwood Villa, Angelo's Northwood Villa. Now, the Northwood Villa has a great depth of history, not all of it wonderful. It used to be run by the Purple Gang, which was a mafioso group a long time ago, and it was in a perfect spot to during the Prohibition days to get particular liquids from one state to the other, but always kept as a restaurant. And then when that obviously ended and Prohibition ended, eventually the restaurant was taken over and bought by Jen DeCurno, and she had a restaurant on Summit Street, and she had this one. And then in the 2000s, Angelo bought it. Angelo Tipsis bought it and now named it Angelo's Northwood Villa, but kept the old look. When you walk into the dining room of this restaurant, you feel like you're walking back in history. The kind of restaurant that has, very decoratively in the early 50s and 40s, a stage in the dining room for live entertainment and a little dance floor in the middle of the dining room. So it's like walking back in time when you get there. And their meals are timeless as well. I think they might rank, when it comes to preparing veal, perhaps number 1 in my book in the Metro Toledo and Ohio, Michigan area. They do a phenomenal job. In fact, I was there last night for dinner, and I had one of my favorite veal dishes that they have. They call it vitello. Vitello is veal in Italian, castellano. And it is a beautiful piece of veal served with shiitake mushrooms and walnuts. So mushrooms and walnuts in a Marcello wine sauce. It has a wonderful sweet taste from the Marcello wine, the great taste of good shiitake mushrooms, and the veal is tender, melt-in-your-mouth veal. They probably have, I'm guessing, 6 or 7 veal dishes on their menu, which is unusual for restaurants in our area. And another great thing they do with veal is they actually have a ravioli that they stuff with veal as well. And so lots of great food. They have good seafood there, great pasta dishes. The people I were with for dinner last night, they all had the veal parmigiana, which is pretty traditional with the marinara sauce and melted cheese on top, served with some pasta. I tasted their marinara sauce, and it was delicious. They have a very nice tomato sauce up there too. So there's no lacking for great opportunities to find wonderful food at Angelo's Northwood Villa, just north of Toledo on North Detroit Avenue, half-mile into Michigan.
I'm officially hungry.
Yeah,
I know. Is it all
That's the way it's
Italian,
supposed to be,
Monsignor?
right?
Yeah. Is
Pardon?
it all Italian there all the time?
Oh, no. They have great steaks and chops and seafood, but they have a good portion of Italian on their menu, but there's some good old American fare as well.
And I know you said no continued connection to the mafia, but just to make sure everybody understands, it was a very positive review. So if there are any issues, it was very good.
I was just explaining the history of the building.
Yeah, I love it.
Always stayed a restaurant. Yeah.
Thank you, Monsignor.